going to prison for this thing called residential burglary, right? Which means I was breaking into homes and stealing shit from people's houses. Nothing that I'm proud of, right? I was in a bad space, a bad environment. I had people that I hung around with that were doing the same shit I was doing, so everything was normal to us. It was like the thing to do. We were all young, nobody cared about shit, none of that. We were just out on the streets doing drugs all day and fucking doing dumb shit after, you know. Anyway, I ended up getting myself locked up for 6 years, right? And in the course of doing all those 6 years, like, there was people doing drugs in prison, but I got sober because, you know, I was a regular person before I started doing any of that shit. Anyway, it's always been around. Like, there's always been people offering that shit to me now. It's crazy because you have this thing called willpower, and it's basically the type of person that you are. Like, if you have enough willpower, you'll say no to all that shit. Anyway, I could have easily just been like, yeah, I'll take it. But at the end of the day, I would have ended up being strung out. When you're strung out on something, it's like you always want it. You'll do everything to get it. But I was never like that. Like, I learned my lesson real fast that if I don't have the means to pay for certain shit, why would I get myself in a situation that I can't get myself out of? And I kind of live by that philosophy. Like, don't do things that you can't get yourself out of. And I try to live life now, like, when something's going on at home and I don't like the way it's going, like, I tell myself, like, alright, try to approach it in a certain way where it's not gonna backfire. You're gonna get upset over what's going on. You shouldn't be upset, you know. A lot of the shit that I learned it in jail. It molded me on how to be a better person, basically. Like, a lot of people in there were up to no good the whole fucking time.
Discipline.
Yeah. Well, the discipline is basically like having a routine every day. Like, you wake up, you do this, you do that, you do this, and then let's say you do so much shit throughout the day, and then when the day's winding down, you still don't break character. You still uphold yourself to what you say you're gonna do, even if you're tired. And that's the thing, though. Like, a lot of us I get tired a lot of the time too. I don't really want to do a lot of this stuff. But I tell myself, like, this is just, you know, the journey is part of it. This is why they call it a journey, because it's not easy. Like, nobody said it was easy to get up early. Nobody said it was easy to make your own food and count your macros. You think about it, dude. When we're driving over here, how many restaurants do we pass by? We can easily just go buy fast food and just... But that's going to defeat the whole purpose of it. So the discipline is like, oh, I see it, that it's there, but I'm not going to go do it because I know better. You know? And that's what I'm trying to instill in you and your sister and your brother. Like, I want you guys to see what I do and do the same shit. Before, it was different. Before, I was just drinking all the time, doing whatever the fuck I want. I was pleasing myself. I don't live like that. I live to teach you guys how to live better, so you guys know how to go through that type of shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of sometimes I get a little mad because when I was in prison, I literally babysat adults. Like, I was put in a position where I was smart enough and sober and shit like that they were like, alright, dude, like, you got a good head on your shoulders, we're gonna have you take care of this block. And I would have to babysit, like, make sure nobody was fighting with each other. If there was any problems, they came and they told me, and I would solve it for them and all that shit. So they listened because they knew if they didn't listen, I was gonna send people, or I was gonna go in their cell and I was gonna beat their ass for it. You guys, I can't treat you guys like in my head it plays out like that. Like, I will beat you guys up. I'm not gonna beat you guys up. You guys are fucking kids. But in my head, it's easier to get through to an adult and make him do certain shit because he knows that if he doesn't do it, he's gonna get his ass whooped. You guys, I don't even spank you guys. I just put you guys on timeout or make you guys do shit you don't like. So it's a little bit more difficult, but I gotta manage that shit. That's my little issue with all this. So at the end of the day, it's all for the greater good, Frank. I'm not trying to be a fucking mean person to you guys. I'm not trying to have you guys just clean. When I have you guys do certain stuff like that, is to create the discipline in you. Like, alright, I'm gonna get up and clean my shit, then I'm gonna hang out. You know what I mean? Like me going to do this right now, what we're gonna go do. After this, I'm like, alright, I earned my meal. I still have to go home and make it. Like, it's not like it already is non-negotiable in my head already. Like, If mom were to make it, then I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, all right, cool, that's good. Like, I don't have to do that. But then now I have to find something to replace with that time. So when you live by a routine, your time is, like you have shit to do all day long. Like, it might seem like I'm not doing shit all fucking day, but I really do shit all day long. And I like that though, because it makes me feel proud of myself. Like, when I was in jail, I had a routine every day. I would do the same, try to stick to my routine every day, so my days would go by faster because I had nothing else to do. I wasn't gonna sit there and not do shit all day like a lot of them dudes did, because that's not doing time. The time is doing you. Like, going to prison was a whole different fucking, like at a certain point it doesn't even feel like I was there. Like, I feel like I dreamed about it, like it was a fucking dream. But the shit behind it, like what I remember doing it with the tattoos and all that shit, is a constant reminder. Like, yeah, you did go to jail for that long. And it was crazy because I went to jail real early, to prison actually, like as early as you can go. I was already, by the time I was 19, I was already in Folsom. So that shit is just like, I grew up. The years that you're supposed to enjoy out here as a young adult, I spent them all in jail, doing fucking dumb shit, getting in trouble. And like, I started discipline. Like, I always had the discipline, but it didn't come in a lot. Like, I didn't, how would you say it? I didn't dial in on it as much up until I ended up in like different situations, because I went to I got into a bunch of shit in there that made me learn from my mistakes. Like, all right, I can't be doing this shit, I can't be doing that shit. I didn't just start doing, I keep like messing up and shit like that. Like, I learned my lessons from I learned my lessons from my mistakes, and then I started watching other people do certain shit, and I was like, yeah, we're never gonna do that shit, because it doesn't. I was just watching people get, like, they call it, whacked. A lot of people were doing dumb shit, Frankie, that was leading to them getting very, very hurt. And I was like, man, that's fucking crazy. I would never do that. Like, if I know better, and it's simple as that. If you know better, don't do it, bro. It never works out. Never will it ever work out. So that's the mindset I'm trying to get you guys to have. Like Aaliyah, she's like super, she's obsessed with certain shit, so she can't control herself. Like, this is the way you do it. Like, don't do it. That little voice in your head is telling you, like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it. Don't fucking do it. That's your conscience telling you, like, no, that's what we're not gonna fucking do.
Her ego. She has a big. She's like a diva kind of.
Yeah, well, she probably is a little diva. That's exactly what she is. That's probably why she. But the thing is, like, I got love for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are my kids. I watched you guys grow up. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, like, go have an ego, but have a good fucking personality. You know, like, don't be a fucking. You know?
Yeah.
I want you guys to grow up like, oh, my dad always had us doing this shit. Later on, you guys will understand. My dad used to have me do a bunch of shit, but my dad used to drink with us too. I used to drink with my dad. Now I look up to my dad because he doesn't do none of that shit. He's like the first person I met that stopped drinking when he was fucking when he was drinking every day. And I stopped drinking. I give myself credit because I feel like I have to. I stopped drinking without help. The only person that helped me was your mom. Like, I would be like, hey, let's go get a beer. And she was like, nah, for what? And then she would be like, let's go get a beer. And I'd be like, nah, for what? So we backed each other up. But other than that, like, we never went to no programs, no fucking shit like that. I mean, some people need that type of fucking help. I don't. Like, going to jail, they literally take everything from you. There's no fucking way you're gonna complain about, oh my god, can I have a cigarette? She's fiending for a cigarette. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You took yourself out of society. This is what you got. You got food, you got a shower, and you got somewhere to sleep. Shut your ass up and do your time. So it builds a lot in a person. Like, I've been through a lot of shit. Look at my brother dying and all that shit. Like, none of that shit was cool to me. And I still kept doing dumb shit after I knew what happened to me. You know what I mean? I should have just stopped, but I couldn't. In my mind, I was like, there's no fucking way, you know? But then came the light. When I got the fucking sign, I was just like, you know what? All I had to do was go to the doctors, and they told me one time, like, hey, dude, you know what? You need to stop drinking. They didn't even like, oh my god, if you don't stop drinking, you're gonna die, or nothing like that. They were just like, yeah, your liver's gonna get fucked up. Like, you're not gonna be able to fucking, you know, fix that shit later if you don't do it. I had a friend who was told the same shit I was told. Dude couldn't stop drinking. He died from that shit. And I had to go see him in a casket like that. I was like, damn, bro, like, that's crazy. How we know what's not good for us, but we still fucking do it. I will not do that shit no more. Like, I fucking have it instilled in my head. Like, you are not like that no more for shit. So don't even think about it. I mean, your mind works a certain way. Like, if you see something, like, let's say if I see fucking McDonald's, I'm like, damn, a Big Mac sounds good. Or a fucking Jumbo Jet. You know, whatever fucking food they sell. But in my mind, I'm like, if I eat that shit, I'm going backwards. Like, I'm not, I'm not taking care of myself. And at my age, I'm not even old, Frankie. I'm 37 years old. There's fucking people that are like in their 70s already, and they're still in shape. That's the whole point behind this shit. Like, to try to stay alive and healthy as long as possible. To have other people look at you and be like, damn, dude, like, that fucking dude is, like, look at him. Like, he's that old and he looks like that. I mean, shit. A lot of the people that I used to talk to, none of them are like that. They all look a certain way because of the way they eat, the way they drink shit, the way they go about living their life. Yes, sir. Here we are, just a little jam-packed, but whatever. We're here to do what we gotta do and go. Oh.
I think a daycare or whatever that is right here.
Good talk.